Number 4 in the world is going to start it off.
1 love. Lock 2. One, two.
Bit of good luck there for Chen Xi to draw level.
Yeah, that little bit of a clip there on the way over on the second to last ball set her up well, but both players serving to perfection right now. No one has served and been beaten at any point yet this match.
3-2.
Now, we've talked about the women's game a little bit and how it tends to be more backhand oriented because the women's game is so fast that they need these compact strokes. Both of these players are incredibly quick. Chen Xi is smooth as can be, very adaptable. Chen Xi going to have to play a little bit out of her comfort zone.
3-3.
What's that going to mean? Well, spin variation. It's going to mean staying close to the table where she can, parallels from time to time. But a good deep to the corner shot here early in the rally to set up the point. First time a serve had been broken. So right now, Chen Xi still with a perfect serve percentage. A little bit of a dent in the record of her opponent.
4-3.
Again, the serve working really well for Chen Xi. That's just another example.
It's not over yet. Doesn't miss by much. The crowd thought it was over immediately, but when it hits the edge of the racket like that, it goes straight up in the air, and then all the backspin on it makes it come right back to the opponent's side. Should it come down, it'll jump back. You are allowed to cross the net in table tennis. You can stand on your opponent's side of the table if you need to, but obstructing them, that's a different story. Chen Xi with a very full stroke drops the racket down for the first backhand, and then it comes back quickly, so she has to keep the racket a little higher to stay on top of it. A little bit more fortune here for Chen Xi. Little fun fact for you. While you're watching The Right Thing right now, Chen Xi, go on YouTube later. When she was 5 years old, she was on a Korean television show, and it is the funniest thing you've ever seen. She was already watched by the whole nation at 5 years old. She started playing competitively. Her father actually owned a table tennis club. If I remember correctly, played for Samsung, which is common. A lot of company players play for famous companies in Korea.
Chen Xi clearly had a taste for TV from a young age, wants to be a TV presenter when her playing career is finished.
Watch the 5-year-old video. It's hilarious, and presenting does not seem like it would be the natural next step. That's all I'll say.
Stunning rally.
Yeah, Chen Xi is quick as can be, keeping the weight forward, and here recognizes real quickly where this ball is coming and what opportunity she would have. She's going to be doing that whenever she can, looking for opportunity to move back in on top of the bounce, closer to the net.
Seven.
Every shot with clear intention here. Ironically, the shot that was right at the belly, the most straight backhand to backhand, was the one that won the point because the 3 shots before it were either on the elbow or deep to the corner. It's like taking a penalty kick and right into the middle when the goalie dives.
8-7.
Front by 1 here. 1 game is a much bigger piece of the pie in a best of 5. Xin Yubin looking to keep that pressure on. Pressure is real, and Team China knows it more than most. Losing to anyone who is not wearing the Chinese flag is punishable. It's a long conversation you don't want to have.
7-9.
More pressure then on Chen Xi, going behind by 2.
Good shovel serve here, inviting the opening backhand, but well in position. Xin Yubin, one of the taller players on the Korean team. Yang Haun in and out of the game a bit. These are 2 of the taller women. Good deep push right near the baseline. I bring up the height because your physicality, your height, your body type does dictate your style of play. Nima Ito could never be a chopper. It's just too much ground to cover. That said, bigger players have to cover their elbow using their backhand a little bit more because it's a compact stroke. It's a big target.
9-0.
That's a sigh of relief for Chen Xi as Chen Yubin goes long. She makes up the ground, makes up those 2 points to level at 9-all as we edge towards the end of this opening game. It's been an interesting one, Adam. The fan vote at 50-50.
Yeah, still pretty crazy, but pretty fitting at this moment. 9-all. Chen Xi with that side-swiping forehand flick to keep it uncomfortable on the other side, something a bit awkward.
Yubin brings up game point. You say uncomfortable, Adam. Chen Xi didn't look fully comfortable in that rally. She was almost forced off balance.
That's exactly right. Xin Yubin playing it right on the forehand side of the elbow, but ever so slightly. So Chen Xi really had to make a lean. Xin Yubin taking away the balance and setting up a game point.
10-0.
Goes long. And that is a sigh of relief for Chen Xi for now.
Yeah, the shovel serve with side and top spin right to the baseline. And Chen Xi doing a wonderful job to keep it deep on the receive. So now they'll alternate serves until one has a 2-point lead to take the game.
Good job by Chen Xi to earn herself the game point. Momentum now swinging in favor of the world number 2. Can she do what Xin Yubin was unable to do? And that is convert that game point.
Well, 10.
In the tightest of opening games.
1 love.
Yeah, I always think the more interesting conversation is what will the player who's trailing have to do? Because Chen Xi can continue doing the same and win 12-10 the next 2 games, this and the next, and that'll be it. For Xin Yubin, the first game was important. Here is. Back
Love
edge here, a little fortune. So I think they're gonna see the hand raised here. Get ready. Back edge changing the trajectory. Shin Yubin converting both of her serves for points to start it off.
One, two.
Well, the second game starting pretty much in the same fashion as the first. Both players opening their accounts well on serve.
Yeah, receivers have not had the success in the early parts, and a kick on the second bounce. Saw some interesting rallies earlier today where some strong players had some good opportunities, but good spin shut them down. The idea is right here from Shin Yubin. This is very good table awareness to recognize where to go, but the pressure is high. Chen Xi leaning in over the table. If that ball comes down, she's going to be in a very tough position to get the backhand up. And a nice change of pace, slows it down on the last ball. Not easy to do. Hamsori knows well. Had a chance to see him in the practice hall with Shin Yubin just before this match. Interestingly enough, team coach in Korea for Shin Yubin. Became the personal coach for some time now. Second point in a row, she took the pace off. Heavy spin comes in and just caresses that ball like it was a massage parlor. Just deep into the shoulders with the thumb. It's so nice to show so much control of the ball in such a high-speed sport. This for me seems like the game plan. Chen Xi adjusts here, but slow and spinny. The arc. We've seen it 3 points in a row here, 2 on the backhand block for points. Hina Hayata, one of the best matches in modern history, slowing the game down against a faster opponent.
4-5.
Chen Xi in front now, staying loose and adaptable.
Well,
again, adaptable in that rally, Chen Xi, switching to the forehand, couldn't quite get it finished off. Shin Yubin able to absorb that pressure really well.
She keeps herself in position, Shin Yubin. She had to pull the right leg back just a little bit, but it didn't cost her balance. By the next shot, she was back in at the table.
Five, six.
I like this rally for a lot of reasons. Shin Yubin is using different depths on the table. Again, Chen Xi the stronger by world ranking. There's just, by almost every standard, she is the favorite here, despite the fan vote. But Shin Yubin ahead. Business end of the game is where it counts, crossing the finish line. Shin Yubin has started well, as you mentioned, earned a game point in game 1, wasn't enough.
6-6.
It's nice to see the next generation of Chinese women's national team players supporting here. The team spirit within Team China, it's incredible. They live together in Beijing, day and night. Imagine having 2 kids at home and being full-time on campus with your roommate and teammate. Don't get me wrong, it's cool, it builds a strong team, but at a certain point, this is why players aren't playing till they're 40 for the Chinese national team.
6-7.
One of many reasons, I guess. Also a lot of strong up-and-comers who will have a bright future for a long time to represent. You can see the fast footwork here of Chen Xi, how she glides back and forth. Very compact strokes.
7-7.
Really nothing to pick between this pair at the moment, not just because it's tied at 7 points all.
Oh, these are not as easy as these look.
7-8.
High balls coming in. Chen Xi keeping the top spin on. You might have noticed the cautious play here from Xin Yubin. Takes her time. One more. Make sure she catches it before it's dropped. Chen Xi taking her chances from way back. Ma Junfeng saying, good effort. You had your chances even though you were not where you want to be in that point. Well played.
That's something we never see in the women's either. We never see them going back far, push behind the table like that. It was really entertaining to see.
8-8.
It is definitely more rare in the women's game. Adriana Diaz isn't playing. We don't have a chopper.
Timeout.
First time out.
8-9.
Doesn't miss by much, but the pressure into the middle first. And then watch this finishing shot from Chen Xi. Deep to the backhand, and the racket can't get there. Doesn't miss by much. Chop block maybe next time? That's what that body language was. Would love to see Xin Yubin execute the chop block. No, she can.
That was certainly not the restart she would have wanted, calling the timeout at 8 points apiece, and she's now facing 2 game points.
Yeah, you see timeouts for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes you just recognize that your player has lost focus or is distracted. Something happens, and you say, wait a minute, we need to stop right now and get back on track. It could be a mental thing, could be a tactical thing. So many different reasons to call a timeout, but as you mentioned, 2 game points for Tongtong.
11-8.
Only needs the one though, and
Game
wraps
point,
up the second, 11 points to 8.
Chen Xi with a tomahawk chop and a down-the-line skater, a rail slide to finish it off. Find me another time that Chen Xi has tomahawk chopped it. Oh, devastation right there. Look it up in the dictionary and find that short clip.
Love 2.
It's so cool to see somebody pull a shot like that out of the bag. She's not a chopper. This isn't her game. A little bit of improv after the net ball. And once again, servers starting off strongly.
Love 3.
Perhaps he spoke too soon. It's the first point that has been won on the opening serve of the game.
I think I spoke at just the right time. If I'd done it 1 point later, would have been bad news. For me and my credibility anyway, but no, I hear you. Xin Yubin looking to get back in this here. No timeouts left for her. It's a very tough place to win a point from back there. Being behind the table, it's awesome for the spectators. If you're a defender, okay. Xin Yubin's tall, she's got long footsteps, but when you're attacking, just so much more time for the opponent. And look at that, no sharing, 8 of the last 8. That means 8 straight points for Chen Xi.
5 points ahead now. That is the biggest lead that she has had throughout this match. It's been close up until now. Could the world number 4 run away with this one? Another great rally. And that is the 10th straight point, I believe, for Chen Xi.
From the statistics we have, there's no doubt about it, at least 10 straight. Chen Xi finding her flow, her rhythm out here. And as you mentioned, they've been good rallies. There've been a lot of quick exchanges. Not just 1-2, set them up, knock them down. This is one of the shorter rallies we've had, though. Rallies, in quotes. Hope you could hear that. You couldn't see my air quotes at home.
Shorter points, maybe.
Eight, lock.
That's a good way to describe it. Well, the streak continues here. We don't see many exhibition points in the women's game. It would be up to Shin Yubin to volunteer it. She's a fighter, and the fighting Korean spirit, she's going to go all the way till the end and fight for every point.
8-1.
She's gotten her first here. And the Chinese rubber, the way the ball barely bounces, it is so dense.
1-9.
The forehand typically on the Chinese setup has harder sponge, which makes the ball stay short very well and takes more weight for you to get extra power on the ball.
How about that for power?
It was the perfect demonstration, the full arm stroke. So there was a lot of racket speed, elbow far from the body, and now 9 match points for an authoritative game 3 to close the door.
Well, what a game 3 for Chen Xi, the world number 4, utterly dominant in the third.